And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
Don't you think it's cool how certain smells, TV shows, music, they will bring you back to a certain point of time in your life? Like, think about your childhood and the music that your parents were playing, how that makes you think about the house you lived in. Maybe it's an old pet or the old record player that you weren't allowed to touch. For me, it was the Eagles, ABBA, Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, Neil Diamond, Billy Joel. Each of these bands, each of these artists, they make me think about a certain time in my life. Living in Surrey, moving up to northern BC, sitting and reading the liner notes and reading the lyrics. And do you remember what it was like going to your first concert? For me, I was 8 years old, Dr. Hook in Kitimat, BC. And since we played so much of that band in the house, that show blew my little mind. I remember driving to the arena, playing their music on the car's 8-track, the smell of weed, walking up to the doors, the energy of everybody that was heading in, everybody so pumped to be there, the smell of popcorn once we got in, and all the songs that I'd heard on our home record player, Sylvia's Mother, cover of the Rolling Stone, Only 16. You got to wonder how much that show played into me going down the broadcast path. 20 years as a radio DJ in BC. We're into year 9 of this podcast. I've been an instructor at BCIT's Radio Arts and Entertainment program for 7 years now. My name is Todd Hancock. Appreciate you being there for the ride. This week's podcast is all about First Concerts. You'll hear from 12 past podcast guests, including Bellator MMA fighter Benson Henderson, Carmelita Jeter, the fastest woman alive, Canadian astronaut Commander Chris Hadfield, Ed the Sock, and a lot more. In fact, you'll hear from some of our musical guests in just a minute. Coming up shortly, in Stop Me, if you've heard this before, Glory Fights kickboxer Josh Johnsey talking about enrolling kids in martial arts. That is powered by FKP MMA. Learn self-defense, build your self-esteem, get fit while you're doing it. My little guy Levi is into his second year there and absolutely loves going. Check out Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com. First, some first concert stories from our past musical guests, all of whom are powered by Vibe Cave Studios in East Vancouver. If you've got great songs, you just need a good mix, talk to Braden, talk to Pockets, and he will dial you up, and you can get a 15% discount on any paid referrals you send his way. So keep that in mind. So check out a bit of a new song that Pockets is working on from Space Queen called When It Gets Light.
Close your eyes, it'll be alright. Nothing lasts forever, though try it might. Take a breath, it'll be alright. Nightmares after and now. When it gets light, it gets light. It gets light.
As I said, talk to Pockets. He is doing some good things. Huge mixes, killer sounds, great vibes through vibecavestudios.com. Now, we had on Allison Shane singer William Duvall on the podcast promoting his side project, Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, which features members of Mastodon, the Dillinger Escape Plan, Mars Volta, Death Clock. Listen to William's first concert story.
My first concert, my mother would take me to things at the Carter Barron Amphitheater in D.C., things like The Temptations and Melba Moore on a double bill, some of that.
Yeah.
Real great, R&B gigs. She would also take me to see, Shakespeare plays and stuff like that. But I think the first concerts I remember where it was all about stuff I wanted to see were things like Earth, Wind, and Fire, Funkadelic, having Graham Central Station, that was a big one. And then, later, a little bit later, around the time of, Van Halen coming out with Fair Warning, that album Fair Warning, and AC/DC coming out with Back in Black, and For Those About to Rock. Around then, I started going to see those bands. Like, I saw Van Halen on the Fair Warning tour. I saw AC/DC on the For Those About to Rock tour.
Did you know that between 1995 and 2016, Biff Naked was among the top 150 selling Canadian artists in Canada? No surprise, I guess. You hear her music on most rock radio stations in Canada. Check out Biff's first concert.
That would be the Power Slave tour of Iron Maiden.
What?
With Twisted Sister opening. It was at the Winnipeg Arena. It was 1984, I believe. I took my little sister.
Okay.
She was 10 years old. I was trying to get her to smoke cigarettes with me. She wouldn't. I was very upset with her for not smoking cigarettes. And, Dee Snider spit on us.
Dirty Heads formed in Huntington Beach, California back in 2008, and they released their debut Any Port in a Storm. They're easily one of my favorite summertime bands. Love the laid-back feel, the overall vibe of their music. So it was cool to get on their singer Dirty J and hear his first concert.
Speaking of which, Bob Marley Day in Long Beach in like 1996 or 7. It was my first concert. I don't know how old I was. Really like 15 or something like that. And I got really high and like sat in the back, and I think I had to leave. Like I just got way too high. And it was really weird because it was all dance hall, like real gangster dance hall, though, like Beanie Man and shit like that. And it wasn't what I thought. Like I was like, Bob Marley Day. We're going to go see a bunch of Roots and like Israel Vibrations and all this shit. And like we had gone on the wrong day. And it was all like super gangster dance hall shit. And I was just like, oh, this sucks. And I was way too high. And I like fell asleep in the back of my seat. And then, so that was kind of shitty. And then John, our percussion player, took me to go see Tool because we're both big Tool fans at Staples Center. And then I've gone, to one or other concerts with my wife, but I've actually only gone as a fan to those like 4 shows.
And back in 1984, drummer Troy Lucetta joined a band called City Kid, who you would eventually know as Tesla, one of the most underrated 80s rock bands of all time. I would stack their albums Mechanical Resonance and The Great Radio Controversy against the first couple of albums of any rock band. Listen to Troy tell his first concert story.
I guess when I think of it on those terms, concert, there was some local things that would happen, and I would go out to some local, quote-unquote, concerts. But I really, when I answer that question today, I think about when Bill Graham was alive back in the Bay Area, real famous promoter, and he had a room that he booked a lot called Winterland Productions, and I think it was I'm going to say it was Shauna Na headlining, Electric Light Orchestra, second bill, and I want to say Link Ray, but I'm not 100% sure on the Link Ray part of it.
And you're young at this time?
Oh, yeah. I was in my, in my early teens.
Toddcast Podcast musical guest visits are powered by Vibe Cave Studios in East Vancouver. Huge mixes, killer sounds, great vibes. Visit them at vibecavestudios.com.
Go on, make sure you slam the front door, yeah. Pour all my liquor on the kitchen floor. Throw my clothes all over the front lawn. Do what you gotta do to do me wrong. If you still got a heart, get to tearing mine apart. 'Cause I'll never get over it if you don't leave a mark. Your little mercy, if you're gonna hurt me, come on, just leave me a wreck. Don't leave me anything less. The worst of you might save me. Show a little mercy. Show save my life if you ruin it. Out of all the hurt, you know, I think hope is the cruelest. Right now, goodbye just don't quite feel right. Come on, baby, change my mind. Show a little mercy if you're gonna hurt me. Come on, just leave me a wreck. Don't leave me anything less. The worst of you might save me. Show a little mercy. Show a little mercy. Alright, I said mercy then. If you still got a heart, get to tearing mine apart. 'Cause I'll never get over it if you don't leave a mark. Give me all you got, don't need any second thoughts. I'll never get over it if you don't give a spark. Show a little mercy if you're gonna hurt me. Come on, just leave me a wreck. Don't leave me anything less. The worst of you might save me. Show a little mercy. Show a little mercy. Come on and show a little mercy. Show a little mercy. Oh, I said mercy. I can't say it again.
Your best way to hit the slopes this winter is with the Cypress Mountain Sky Card. Visit cypressmountain.com for details.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
Glory Kickboxing's Josh Johnsey has been around martial arts his entire life. When he was just a little kid, his dad founded a fighting academy. Josh's fight record is 31-11 with 15 knockouts. His last fight, for Glory's lightweight championship, he lost by TKO, the 3 knockdown rule. And when Josh was a guest of the podcast, he talked about kickboxing, of course, and immediately excelling as a kid. He shared what he thought were his biggest assets as a fighter. We talked about the superpower that he'd want to have. We thought about the Mayweather-McGregor boxing match. We talked about the shows that he was binge watching, of course, at the time. And stop me if you've heard this before. Josh talked about when parents should enroll kids in martial arts.
I think as soon as the kid is able to sort of understand what you're saying and you know, be able to pay attention slightly to something, you know, then I think they should be getting into it. Like I would say 4 years old or so is a good age to start, as long as they're also with you know, not much older kids, you know what I mean? Still with kids their own age or a little older, but I think 4 years old is a good time, because martial arts in general just it teaches first of all discipline and all that kind of stuff, but also I find just getting a kid active in something where they have to kind of be told or shown how to do something. It gets them to understand their body a little bit more.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com.
Just won't settle. Adamant team, I don't break, I don't bend. See, me was seeking silence in the end. And when it comes to it, I'm just trying to chill. Through woods and no pain, no pills. Jesus Christ, he got me feeling too real. I can ride, no lie, Jesus, take the wheel. could start dealing. The path that I declined to escape. Memories on Memorex, so just erase that tape. But baby, keep that take. Cause I'm inclined to try again. No booze, pills, pay my fare. My sis, love is the drug I was missing. Please come back to me. There's no telling what I'll do, but I'm not putting blame on you. You keep me sober, that's why I'm calling you over. Don't leave me alone tonight. You got me feeling like I might be alright one day. My fears on you, 'cause that's what I was made to do, yeah. Don't leave me alone tonight. You got me feeling like I might be alright one day. That's what addicts do, yeah. But I'm not putting blame on you. All my fears on you. I said, boy, I'm calling you over, 'cause you keep me sober. I said, boy, I'm calling you.
I cannot wait for our night with Tanya Aganaba. Pretty much 1 month away, February 25th. That's her song called CC. If you like that one, check out the rest of her catalog. A jewel, no doubt, in Vancouver's excellent music scene. And as mentioned, playing a podcast show next month. We're doing a Blue Light Sessions with her on Saturday, February 25th. All of our shows for Blue Light Studio in East Vancouver are the last Saturday of the month. Well, not all the shows, because sometimes we'll do random shows here and there, but like we did with Sean Varro, Cobra Ramon, Todd Kearns last month. But guaranteed there will be a podcast Blue Light Sessions the last Saturday of the month for all of 2023. It's crazy. It's acoustic. I host from stage, rock the Q&A. You get to ask questions as well. Don't sleep on these tickets. We're only selling 60 in total. $20 right now through eventbrite.ca. Eventbrite, eventbrite.ca. Expect a brilliant night with exceptional music and a phenomenal storyteller. No pressure, Tanya. Played Kyle McCurney, and love that one. It's a relatively new song for him. It's called Mercy. Now, Kyle's a big part of this podcast, or at least his music is. The music that you would hear at the start of our, quote, normal weekly podcast. This, of course, would be a themed one. We're talking about First Concerts. But our weekly normal podcast, the music you hear at the intro and the extra is Kyle. He gave us permission to use that song almost 10 years ago. And since then, he's carved himself a following as an Americana artist, being nominated for awards last year, winning awards last year. Expect 2023 to be a very big year for our good friend Kyle McCurney. Love that kid. All right, coming up in about maybe 10 minutes in Listen to This, AWOL Nation singer Aaron Bruno talking about his band's longevity and getting the chance to open up for the Rolling Stones. Like what? Talk about a career highlight. That is powered by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley. Good friends for years. They've been sponsoring for 6 or 7 anyway. RV service and repairs, ICBC accredited. You can find them on Twitter and on Facebook at Tedco RV Supplies. So first, let's get to more first concert stories and a handful of our past sporting guests, powered by Hand Over Hand Textiles in Vancouver. Naturally dyed goods for your home, for your body. Amazing work, top tier, locally owned and operated as well. Very cool. They only use pure plant extracts and natural fibers. Good for Mother Earth. They make great presents as well. We've mentioned that before. Find out more and support this incredible local business at handoverhandtextiles.com. You'll know Bellator MMA fighter Benson Henderson as one of the best to ever do it. Prior to Bellator, he fought in the UFC and has wins over monsters of the sport. Frankie Edgar, Donald Cerrone, Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal. Check out what Benson said about his first concert.
My first concert was actually, a Beach Boys.
No kidding.
With my mom. Well, yeah, Beach Boys when I was like, I don't know, 13, how to be like 13, 14 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
My mom and I were just like walking around, like I think downtown Seattle or something like that for some reason, and then we happened to like come across like all these people getting together and doing something. Like, oh, we wonder what that is. And it ended up being a Beach Boys concert, so we kind of just walked in, got a couple tickets, and it was pretty cool. Had a good time.
Staying with MMA for a sec, local fighter Julia Budd once dominated in Bellator MMA. You can now watch her fights in the featherweight division of the Professional Fighters League.
Ooh, my very first concert was Tragically Hip.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. Great first show. Where was that?
Well, you know what? I went to, I can't remember. I was 12 and my cousin brought me in. The person that was supposed to go with him didn't end up showing up, so he brought me in. It was awesome. I'm somewhere in Vancouver. I don't know. I just remember catching the ferry in and seeing them and it being such a cool feeling.
Yeah, Tragically Hip is Canada's house band.
Yes, exactly. And then I also saw like a Ben Harper concert at some time around there as well.
Fantastic.
And that was an outdoor show somewhere downtown Vancouver. I don't know where, but my sister brought me to that one. So.
If you haven't listened to the full interview with Carmelita Jeter, dig around on our SoundCloud or Spotify and give it a listen. She is the fastest woman alive, period, on Earth. A 3-time Olympic medalist, she ran the 100-meter in 10.64 seconds, making her the second fastest woman ever behind Florence Griffith Joyner's world record of 10.48. Listen to Carmelita tell her first concert story.
My first concert was Crisscross.
Oh, nice.
I was about 12
great.
or 13, and my first concert was Crisscross. I'll never forget it. Jump, Mac Daddy make that. Jump, Daddy Mac and make that. Jump, Crisscross so make that. So that was my first concert.
And if you follow football, specifically the CFL, the name Shaun White should ring a bell. Signed with the BC Lions in 07, traded to the Owls in 11, was with the Edmonton Eskimos originally. Of course, they changed their names to the Elks from 15 to last year. Shaun's back now with the Lions, signed a contract extension late last year that'll keep him around for the upcoming season, which is great news. Such a good player, such a good dude.
Oh, it was Incubus.
Oh, great show.
Talib Kweli opened up, and it was Incubus. It was awesome. Morning Dew, I think it was.
Dude, yeah, those guys are amazing, man.
Dude, that was the coolest concert. That was my first one, and I haven't had one that topped it.
Red Truck Beer. Nothing delivers like a red truck. Official beer of the Toddcast podcast.
No problems. So you say no. We're just talking, and I'm looking at you, but you're gone, babe. Was there something to do? Did you think, did you think, did you think? Did you think you had to? And you're going all that time, and you know that it's a crime. Better turn it on that dime, 'cause you're shutting out the shine. There's no worry, so to speak, now. I got your pleasantries, but none of them are true, 'cause you're gone, babe. Was there something to prove? Did you think, did you think, did you think? Did you think you had to? And you're going all that time, and you know that it's a crime. Better turn it on that dime, 'cause you're shutting out the shine. Yeah, yeah. Are you waking, are you waking, are you waking up? Are you waking up? And you're going all that time, and you know that it's a crime. Better turn it on that dime, 'cause you're shutting out the shine. And you're going all that time, and you know that it's a crime. Better turn it on that dime, 'cause you're shutting out the shine.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca. And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
Chances are you'll best know AWOL Nation for their massive hit song, Sail, which, by the way, only got to number 17 on Billboard's Hot 100. You'd think that a song like that would get to number 1, right? Anyway, regardless, a big song for these guys, off to the races at this point with their first album, Megalithic Symphony. That was back in 2011. Millions and millions and millions of albums sold out world tours. And when singer Aaron Bruno was a guest in early 2020, right before they released their fourth album, Angel Miners and the Lightning Riders. Great name for an album. They released a covers album this year as well, My Echo, My Shadow, My Covers, and Me. Now, Aaron talked about being a big Star Wars fan. He shared a Henry Cavill story, talked about peer acknowledgement from guys like Beck and Rivers Cuomo, being blown away by a Bad Religion concert, postponing tours because of COVID. He shared his thoughts on legalized marijuana, a near-death surfing story, time travel came up, growing up to the music of Prince, Michael Jackson, Madonna, and Aaron talked about opening up for the Rolling Stones and his band's longevity. Listen to this.
I think that just the fact that I'm talking to you today and am still relevant and have a career is overall, I mean, that's kind of a bullshit answer, so I apologize to skate around it, but it's like, I was at a point before I made the first AWOL record where I thought no one was ever going to listen to these songs. And that whole first record became sort of a phenomenon and still lives on today. So I guess just the fact that going full circle back to when I had that job as a waiter, and I didn't even get paid for the 2 days I worked because they went out of business and I couldn't flag down the owner. But that was so funny and weird. But the fact that I got out of debt, for starters, was probably the coolest thing for me. And then, of course, you know, there's been a lot of success since that moment. But just having the opportunity to get out of debt at all and start over, almost a second chance after all these failed other projects I had done, would probably, I guess, overall be. I mean, there's all these things. We opened up for the Rolling Stones, you know. I have these. Well, I used to have these all these platinum plaques for the first record and sale, especially like in the song "Not Your Fault" that were over to my right. And then my wife finally said, "Hey, do you care about these awards and accomplishments you have?" And I said, "You know, I guess I don't. So they're gone." So she put them in storage. So they were collecting dust here for the longest time, and they didn't aesthetically look cool in my house at all. And I didn't ever have it in me to hang up an award on my wall, you know? Right. And so they're gone. So she's pretty cool like that. She's good at not allowing any of the stuff to become a really big deal and keep life, you know, what's most important in life in front of me. This doesn't answer your question at all.
Listen to This on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
Just a punishing song. The band is Arlo Wells and easily one of the best indie rock songs of the last few years. It's called Ghost. Crushing song, crushing band. Cannot wait to see these guys live this year. With any luck, that will happen. Big fan of the band. Played you Ivan Hartle, and that was a new song for him, a new song called Shine. And we reached out to Ivan about playing one of those acoustic blue light sessions with us. As mentioned earlier in the podcast, we have the last Saturday of the month for all of 23 to do these shows. And based on seeing him live, the overall vibe, don't you just think that Ivan is going to kill it in that environment? Something like that where you're interviewing him, he's telling stories, it's acoustic. I love the guy's stuff, so hopefully he'll be down to do something with us. As a betting man, I would probably put $50 on Red. Speaking of that live scene, the live music here in the Lower Mainland in Vancouver, you can find info on, of course, our shows, but also other shows that you should try to be at with the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. That is brought to you by our friends at Mystic Rhythms Rehearsal Studios. Over 40 years experience in the music industry. If you need a jam space, look no further. Top of the line gear. They are also locally owned and operated. You can find out more about them through mysticrhythms.ca. First, let's get to some more first concert stories, and this time from a handful of our past entertainment guests, all of whom are powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary. Weed, check. Mushrooms, check. But you will also find so many other amazing products. Edibles, hash, oils, pipes, you name it, you will find it. And by the way, at registry, mention that you heard about them through this podcast to unlock a hidden category on their website. How cool is that? And use the code TODCAST, TODDCAST, for 10% off. Don't know why I spelled that. You probably could spell that. 10% off at registry through sacredmeds.com. You'll best know Bobby Brown from starring in Ex-Wives of Rock and as that blonde girl from Warrant's Cherry Pie video from back in the day.
My first concert was Madonna.
Madonna. Okay, how old were you for that?
21.
Wow, talking about setting the bar out of the gate. Wow.
Yeah, I never went to concerts when I was in Louisiana. Like, I wasn't allowed to go.
Really?
So,
strict upbringing or what?
Not really that strict, but my mom was definitely like, you're not going to any concerts. Maybe she could see the future and she was scared. Who knows?
Canada's first spacewalker, Commander Chris Hadfield, retired astronaut, engineer, former Royal Canadian Air Force fighter pilot. Well, he's also known for his music. He released an album called Space Sessions, Songs from a Tin Can, back in October of 15. Listen to Commander Hadfield talk about his first concert.
The first concert I went to, big time concert, I think was in Montreal. I saw Long John Baldry, and he was warming up for Supertramp. So I saw Supertramp in Montreal a long time ago, and I've seen a bunch since. AC/DC in where were they? They were in Winnipeg, I think, or Regina, and the Nylons, and there, of course, I've been to so many since. And as a musician, getting to play with a lot of different bands too. To me, we have found musical instruments that are 40,000 years old where we're living in caves in Central Europe, and people were playing music back then to help them understand life. And so to me, it's absolutely just fundamental to being who we are, and it's just natural that it's with us on board a spaceship as we leave Earth as well.
If you grew up in Canada in the late 80s, early 90s, you'll know Ed the Sock from his time as a VJ at Much Music.
My first concert ever?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, it goes back, I think, the Who's first farewell concert in Toronto. You know, when they decided they weren't going to tour ever again, and this was their big farewell, and they did it in Toronto.
And they actually
that was 9 farewell tours ago. I'm not quite sure. I've lost track.
Right, exactly. And that's what all bands do. Kiss just announced their, whatever the hell they're calling their tour. Is that actually going to happen? Ozzy Osbourne said he's doing the same thing. And, like, come on, guys. Who are you kidding? You're not kidding anybody.
Well, here's the thing, especially with Ozzy, but with bands that are getting older, they may think that they're being clever, and they're going to say it's a farewell tour, they're going to milk that, then they'll come back. But at their age, it may very well be a farewell tour, and they don't know it.
Right, exactly.
I mean, look at the Spice Girls are coming back. Except at this point, they're going to have to call themselves the Spice MILFs.
And you'll perhaps best know Cynthia Johnson as a keynote speaker. She's also a marketing guru, the CEO of Bell and Ivy, the author of Platform on Personal Branding. Check out her hashtag BizTipChat on Twitter and listen to her tell the story of her first concert.
Oh, my first concert ever was Paul McCartney.
Come on, ever? Sir Paul McCartney? Your first ever? That's amazing. How old were you? Talk about setting a bar, Cynthia. Come on.
I know. I remember thinking, why are these people doing with these lighters? And it's because they have I don't know. I grew up in Las Vegas, and my dad runs. He's a technical director for a lot of the different venues there, and now he's at Caesar Palace. So
wow.
Every time a show in, we would get tickets that way. So yeah, I definitely got spoiled. You're spoiled when you leave a share show and you're like, I've seen better.
That's just shit.
Entertainment guest visits are powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary. Visit sacredmeds.com and mention you heard about them through the podcast to open up a hidden category on their website. And use the code TODCAST at checkout for 10% off your order.
It's been days since I said your name out loud. Send memories in boxes overseas. They return to sender. I know it hurts. I know it has to be done. We don't need to escape. Everybody needs some time to process the pain. We don't need to escape. Everything we're hiding from needs to be faced. Doctor says you got 6 weeks, and it's been 4 since I found the time to see you. If I lose the image of you swimming till the harbor disappears, I'll be lost in my denial. Truth be told, in black and white, I can't carry on. I can carry. We don't need to escape. Everybody needs some time to process the pain. We don't need to escape. Everything we're hiding from needs to be faced. Door is closed to a freshly painted room, empty and silent. Scratch your name on the window pane. I'll be waving.
don't you just love that? They are called Flora Falls, and a quasi-new song for them called Escape. That is a side project of Dominic Fricot. If you're going like, man, I know that. Yeah, you do. You know that voice. You'll know well from this podcast. We played his stuff since the beginning, launching back in 2015. He's the Midas kid almost, like everything that Dom touches turns to gold. Really hope you enjoyed this week's podcast, First Concert Stories. I personally love hearing about people's first concerts. It's something about music and how it brings you back in time. It does stuff that, simply most things can't. And I think we're going to put a bow on it at this point of the podcast. Again, my name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening and hanging out. And please tell your friends about what we're doing here. You can subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. Of course, check out all of the videos that we do through our YouTube channel. Follow along on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well. Comment and rate the podcast. It does help out with all that search engine results stuff. Search it out, of course, through Toddcast Podcast. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. Contact info is at the homepage, and if you help us find a sponsor, we will give you a commission. Maybe we'll talk soon. Till next time, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. They don't. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast Podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you're going to love our podcast, Disney Countdown. Hi, I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And Biscuits, I'm Jeremy, aka Jarendell, and we are the hosts of the hit Disney podcast, Disney Countdown.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show, right, Jeremy?
Ooh, girl, you know we are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you are looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Goodbye, Kyle! Did the sound of those words call to you like Pavlov's dog? Then you might enjoy our podcast, Turtle Time.
Every week, you can join me, Riley Hamilton, and my co-host, Amy Scarlotta, as we cover the most pressing Bravo news and dig into the new episodes to answer important questions like, who the hell is Adrian Malouf in this world?
Listen to Turtle Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Wednesday and Friday.
Now, before you go hunting for something else to listen to, let me make it easy. I'm Mike Carruthers, host of a podcast called Something You Should Know, and I speak with experts about fascinating things that affect your life, from human behavior, relationships, health, science, and everyday mysteries. We've been downloaded millions of times because every episode teaches you something you'll be talking about later. Open up Something You Should Know and give it one episode. You might just find your new favorite podcast.